Very, very sorry I'm late. I overslept. Oh boy. I slept around 7 a.m. and I thought I could just close my eyes for like 2 hours. Um, I'm a little bit groggy. Give me a second. But how are we all doing? First off, how are we all doing? Um, yeah, so yesterday at the end of the stream, we did mention that on today's study stream there are a variety of things we could do and look at. So I set up a poll on both the Discord and then the YouTube because I wasn't sure how many people. My Discord is not really active, as in like people aren't really there. So I did one on YouTube as well. And from the YouTube polls, most people wanted us to do the game analysis stream, which is I'll analyze my games and viewer games as well. So that is what we saw. I think the second was opening studies and the puzzles, and then the other one was tied. So yeah, so today we're going to look at we're going to do the study streams. We're going to look at we're going to do the game analysis for both myself and the stream and the viewers. Excuse me, like I'm when I say I just woke up, like I woke up and then I set up the stream and then turned on stream. Like I haven't, like, yeah, if that makes any sense. So yeah, we'll start with mine, and if anyone has a game, they can send. I don't know. Have I allowed links? I think I allowed links. I think I've allowed sending of links, so yeah. Basically that's about it. Let's start taking a look at it. So for my games, we are going to be looking at yesterday's games, and oh boy, we're going to be looking at yesterday's games, and we are going to be looking at we're going to be looking at majority of the games. In fact, as many of the games that I lost that we can look at, we are going to look at them and try to make corrections. Yeah. So I will make a study called 30 games, and at the end of the stream I'll put the link on in the chat so that you can always make reference with. So let me do that now. Okay. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now we can move on from there. Okay, so let's start. I don't know if this is the first game. I just know that many of the games, mostly like a lot of times when I'm analyzing games, I like to analyze my losses. That's not to say that you shouldn't analyze your wins as well, because sometimes you did win, but you didn't play the best way possible. Sometimes to win in chess, your opponent has to let you win, as in your opponent has to fumble to let you win, right? Of course, chess as a zero-sum game does like does have the moment, like the chess as a zero-sum game is basically you forcing your opponent to make mistakes, but sometimes your opponents just don't know what they're doing. Skybox, welcome. Right, so sometimes your opponents let you win. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So even when you win, you should check, like, was the plan I was trying to execute sensible? Did it make sense, right? Did I play the right move order? Was my idea right? Did my opponent have the right counterplay? But mostly I get very complacent analyzing my wins, so I like analyzing my losses, and I like to get used to analyzing them, because sometimes you lose and you try and make excuses for yourself. You try and make excuses for yourself and say that, oh, it's because I was this, it's because I was that, it's because I was this. But yeah, sometimes that's what you have to do. Sometimes the opponent is me. I'm good at doing the wrong stuff. Yeah, we all are. It took me a while to know that I was decent at chess. Like, at a point in time, anytime I won, I thought my opponent just let me win. It never just, it didn't occur to me that I actually was the one who won the game. I always thought that my opponents let me win. You know, it's a detail in Queen of Katwe that I appreciated so much. Like, it was a very short scene in the Queen of Katwe, but I appreciated that scene so much. When they went to play, when they went to play their first tournament against the school with the rich kids, basically. Yeah. When she beat their number one player, she just felt like he let me win. That's the way I felt when I won my first game. Like, yeah, I lost 100 games before I won my first one, because I was playing against very strong people. So yeah. I appreciated that. So let me send this in a second. Let me just send this to help certain people. So I am gonna start. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. Once again, forgive me. I literally jumped out of bed into the street. Literally. Okay, so let's look at this game. This game I was playing as white. I was going for the usual London system. I don't think I spent so much time on like normal lines. Yeah, and here there's a well-known trick. Yay, Kojoaka, how are you doing? You know, I just noticed that I should sleep well. No, I slept at 7. That's why. I slept at 7 and I was like, it's better I stay up and then just do the stream. But I was like, nah. If I do, it's an analysis stream. If I do that, I'm going to be saying nonsense. So let me just try and close my eyes a bit. I set some alarms and I woke up at 10:45 or something. And I was like, damn. I was working on my, like, I've already written my 2026 plans, but I was going through them, seeing what is actually viable, what is not, reassessing my ideas and other stuff. So yeah, and also I was doing my dailies for these gacha, not really gacha, like Yu-Gi-Oh and Shadowverse. 6 to 7. Yes. Look, that is certainly my plan. My plan is to be getting decent amounts of sleep. I should have slept. Sincerely, I should have just put it down and slept. But that's sometimes just me. It's a fight I'm having right now with myself to sleep early. Yeah. I normally sleep like 2 a.m. And this year I told myself I'll try and sleep like 12:31. So that I can at least get 6 hours or 5 hours. So don't worry, it's not something I'm going to be doing all the time. I was just contemplating on it. Anyways, so there's a very, so actually it's very interesting here because how does it feel like? Because there are some lines. Let me just try and get these lines. Where, yeah, this is almost the exact same line. Okay, they mostly don't play the bishop at this point, right? They mostly go like knight, and then after knight you go this way. Yeah. Max Silva, welcome to the stream. So yeah, there is this, right? There is this as well. So the difference, so when I was playing the game and he played rookie, I was caught off guard because I was playing off like feeling. I wasn't really looking at the position because this is normally the issue. And here they play moves like e5, they play moves like queen here. Like they play very interesting things over here. So I because I often expect that this is the position, and in case you're wondering what you do here, you take, if they take, you take back. If the knight jumps in, you sacrifice your queen, and once they take your queen, you just get your queen back. And whatever they do here, you are simply enjoying the game, right? It's a very interesting line. So that's basically what I was expecting. So in the game, he actually played this move, right? So when I jumped in here, I was expecting this, like I was expecting this, but then he played this, and I was like, wait, what have I missed here, right? Again, I still don't think this move is bad, but the fact that I missed is the problem. So I think what I played here is perfectly fine. You can just play that line, which was d takes c5. Oftentimes, I don't think that's the move you want to play, but I think here d takes c5 just makes perfect sense. Oh, so my move was completely wrong. D takes c5 is not the move. When you see me lagging, just know that it's because of the let me put the eve out there. Yeah, so guys, like I said, we are doing a what should I call it? We are doing a oh boy, I'm trying to fix something, that's all. I hate the way this thing is. So yeah, we are doing a steady stream, and basically today we are just going to be analyzing games. So you can send if you are restricted, just let me know. I don't remember if I have prevented people from sending links, but if I haven't, you can just send a link to your game and I'll get to it. So you can pick a game, send the link, I'll get to it. And yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. So I'm basically going through my games that I played yesterday. So if you were on stream yesterday, some of these games will look familiar to you, but I'm basically going to try and look at what my mistakes were and how I could have played better. Okay. Yeah, so I thought this was fine, and basically I was playing to some line I kept playing during the is it the Nationals? Yeah, I think it was in the Nationals 2024, right? The Nationals 2024. If I can find that game, I will load it up for you guys. The Jibaba London is interesting. Playing against it is very tricky. Well, I think the point of this of the Jubava is more okay, I don't say that's the point, but the Jubava London leads to more aggressive positions for white, whereas like the standard London is vying for positional advantage, right? It's clear white is definitely better after the opening, but it's more or less a positional thing you're trying to look for, slowly wearing down your opponent and taking the game from there, whereas the Jobava goes straight for the kill, right? The way I play it sometimes is considered bad. Like, you should commit to the Jobava by playing the Jobava, right? You shouldn't like this is how you should play the Jobava. You shouldn't whatchamacallit, wait till you see this sign, like this thing that I did here. It's often not considered the best way to play it. You should just commit to it straight away. But sometimes I like to transpose into it. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is like the Jobava, sorry, knight. If they play, mostly go knight. Bishop. Some go c3, some don't. But for argument's sake, let's say they don't. Yeah. And there are these funny lines where you can go this way. Very, very, very aggressive play style, right? So it gives you a much more aggressive landing system, takes out that boorish, slow middle game, and gives you very active play in the middle game, right? So I think that's what's good about it. And I always say this: aggressive chess may not be like the best moves, but aggressive chess often plays on your opponent's emotions. Like, the reason why somebody would win playing aggressively is probably due to the emotions. Because sometimes you're just playing bad moves, but the person is just so scared about what's happening that they end up making a mistake, right? Yeah, that's my take on it. So yeah, I jumped in here, and then he played rook here. So apparently this is wrong. The best move should be bishop here. I don't. I think you should take here. Before I turn on the engine on this, I think you should take here, because I don't know if you really want to allow this kind of a structure. This move is still looking strong. This move is still looking strong. You played a King's Gambit. Are they different? The King's Gambit and the Vienna. I'm trying to remember if they're different. Yeah, or if the King's Gambit transposed into the Vienna. Yeah, I think if you go with this line, okay, I mean you could say I want to go this way and not provoke it, but I don't know. This kind of provokes it. I feel like this is good for black. No, this is good for white. Oh, but let's say we don't do that. Let's say we don't get this move, and let's say we go about it the first way, because if we go knight back and they go pawn push, I think this is good for black. It's still good for white. Question is why? Because takes, you can have knight takes here, and like you're opening things up on this side of the board. Like, for example, like imagine you were the one playing this position, right? Yeah, like the engine is saying this, and I feel like that's the most obvious one, because this just seems to be possible. Like you can put yourself in a problem here. I'm sure you just trade off. I'm sure, like, no, you can't even play the queen block. You may have to play something like this or like this. You get my point? So the engine may be saying something like, oh, white is okay, white is fine, but like, I'm a human. Looking at this just doesn't feel comfortable, right? I have to move this away. My opponent does have the ability to castle, whereas I do not. Knight e2 seems to be the most obvious. Knight e2, still, the point is the castling becomes a bit... Because castles, and we can probably play this, right? We have knight here. But this may not work because of... Oh, actually, yeah, that's actually not good. Okay. Knight e2 is actually, on a humanistic level, it looks like it's safer. Wait, let me be sure. There's no trick here. So how about we just go knight? We develop a knight here. Our opponent castles. We castle as well. Still taking is not... Oh, okay, now there's this. That's not a big deal, right? We just take, right? And at this point, I think it's okay, but white definitely has something here. I like the activity of black, but this pawn may be an issue for black. Yeah, so here the engine supports because there's even a straightforward here. So let's stop this and see if it's still straightforward. Yeah, it's not so straightforward, but I still support like white will be having something. I'm playing as white, but it's not the position we got, by the way. I'm just analyzing that whole idea there, right? What actually happened in this game was after I played knight to b5, my opponent played rook. I played takes. This move I felt was inaccurate. Like the engine suggesting here, this is what I suspected immediately. I was like, oh, this is what my opponent is going to play. But he goes against the grain and is like, yeah. I think maybe it's not bad. I think him going for that is not bad. He could have done it here. Like, I don't think, I don't know if the timing is so much important, but he could have still done it. Like, nothing stops his move order. So we jump back, and then he brings his knight in. And this move I think is, but this a3 move I feel like may have been the worst part of my game. Maybe I should have gone more active with a move like this. That way if my opponent jumps in here, I have something along the lines of this. Right? I had the ability to play that. But for some funny reason, I was thinking my opponent is not going to take, which makes no sense. Like, why would your opponent play this and allow this? It makes no sense. I wasn't so much bothered about this move. So that was not the reason why I made such a move. I wasn't worried about the knight coming in there. I had a very bad idea there. I think it was let's see, knight comes in. If he comes in here, then it's bishop. And we can trade off here. I'm not too bothered by that. I thought that would have been fine here. I felt I would have been fine there, but I was like, nah. My opponent did not play that, sorry. And I played a3. He takes, and this is where things go downhill. I still had the opportunity to play this move, right? I still had the opportunity to play knight f3, but I went bishop d3, allowed my opponent to... Okay, he didn't make that move here. When did he play the bishop? He didn't. I literally thought this move... Okay, I forgot it again because I thought he played this. In which case, my position is locked. Sorry about that. Yeah, because if I come in this way... Fine, I get it. Like, this pawn is not a backward pawn. I can play something like c3 to try and hold the position a bit. So I can understand why the engine is not supporting my idea. I can understand that. E4 seems brutal. Yeah, I thought that was what he should do, but I don't know why. That's why I've taken my time here a bit. Yeah, because the knight can't develop, the bishop can't develop. If I want to still develop my knight, I have to prevent myself from castling, right? Because bishop f1, knight e2, and then here. Like, my position is already just bad, right? And I think a3 is one of the moves. But I think if I was to blame any move at all, it would be this one. It would be this one. The reason is because I see control of the center, and I'm very well aware of these ideas, right? Because I've said multiple times in the London system, sorry, in the landing system, the best way your opponent can counter you is with c5. And what you shouldn't do is to take. I'm fully aware of like the ideas that come in with this position. I mean, they should play knight here and then you can lead initially, but sometimes they don't. And let's just say something like this. I'm just making bad moves here, but I guess to explain the point. No, this is what happens when they take. So I'm fully aware of this, and I know that ceding control of the central squares to giving control of the central squares to black is a bad idea, but I still went about it that I still went with that move. Knight h3 might be the idea, yeah, but still sorry, let's say he castles here and you play this. I mean, he can still just take, right? That way, even if you castle kingside, your position is a little bit loose. Like, okay, you have bishop here. Maybe it's not so bad. Nah, it has to be bad. If black is not winning this position, I'll be shocked. Yeah, it has to be bad. Bishop d3, not bishop e6. Give me a second. Let me use the full screen just in case. It's not the best view, but it's a view. Okay, so you can see the move number, and then we can talk about it from there, because I think there's a slight I think there is a slight delay. So if you mention a move, I don't see it as and when you wanted me to see it. I see it like a few seconds later. So so just let me know the move number you're talking about. I think bishop d3, not bishop e6. Where's bishop d3? Yeah, this is the position we looked at. So we just looked at this. Yeah. I'm just trying to make a funny argument here that, like, if you try and make this move to try and stop your opponent, it just allows this. So maybe the option is this. But again, if takes, lines are being opened up against the king. Maybe just take rook and then double up with the rooks, and then eventually come in that way. Like, it's not a straightforward idea. Yeah, okay. It's not a very straightforward idea. Yeah, so looking at it, I don't think you want to play like bishop g4 here. Playing bishop g4 here is not helping. Like, the reason you would want to play bishop g4 here is because you want to release some of the pressure in your position. At least that's what I believe that white would want to do here. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Let's see. So there's the queen. Oh, here you just go d4. What about the queen move? Queen move is not exactly bad. but the response from your opponent is actually bishop to h4. What about pawn? Well, like pawn push is a very interesting one. Okay, so pawn push. Your opponent just has 2 defenders this time, as compared to the other position I showed, where he has about 3 defenders. So the point is, if you take, I think we go knight takes, right? Because we are targeting this square. And it's a very dicey thing there for your opponent. Let me just make a random move for white here, because I'm looking at like takes, queen takes, and then you just simply invite yourself into this problem if you play queen takes. So you can also then play queen takes, rook takes, but again, this is also preventing you from doing anything. So there was no real out here. So I think what destroyed the whole position is playing what I played. I think this is actually the move that destroyed the whole position. But the question is this something that's memorable? I feel like I've studied a line where bishop d3 is played, but I can't remember what that line was in the London system. I think I remember what it was. Give me a second. I think I may have to go to chess.com for a second. Wait. I did play a similar line in a tournament game. Let me see if it's there. Give me a second. Oh, by the way, in case any of you have forgotten, you can send a link to your... You can send a link for any game of yours that you want us to analyze. You can feel free to do that today. Okay, I have to go to chess.com. Give me a second. I have not saved that game here. Chess.com. It just occurred to me where I've seen that game before. Usually in most landing positions in the Queen's Gambit declined, you almost never want to take the c pawn, yeah. Like, and I'm aware of that's the funny part. Like, I'm aware of that, and I still played into it. Is it a President's Cup? Yes, it's the President's Cup. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. I use both sites when I'm not streaming. And actually, the funny thing is I started streaming on chess.com, but recently, whenever I try streaming on chess.com, it's just laggy. But yeah, this is the game. Because the point is, I had been seeing I'm on this platform, right, with chess players, chess enthusiasts around Africa or the world. I don't know how many of them are outside of Ghana. Oh, sorry. This is... I don't have a screen for chess.com. Give me a second. Let me just make a new window. Sorry. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah, so this was a game I played in a live chess tournament, and the point is I was on this platform and everyone was talking about the London system. Now I am the one who's always talking about the London system. I like making noise about the London system. So people kept on saying things like the easiest way to stop the London system is to play c5, right? Right. The moment your opponent tries to play a London system, you just want to go c5. And I agree, right? The moment your opponent commits, you can just go c5. It's true, it's not bad, it's not wrong. So I started looking into lines. That's something that is strange. I've forgotten the lines. I started looking into lines where I started looking into lines where I can play the bad move, but since I have more experience than my opponent in the position, I should be winning there. So I got this, and after knight jumps in with a6, then I take, and that's the line I looked at. Because you can't play e4 yet. You can't play this move just yet. You have to play knight first before you play it. So after the knight jumps in, then I play this move, knight f3. Bishop comes in. I'm testing the water to see where the bishop is going. But the line I remember was, I think they go back or something, and I don't remember it like very well. But it had this bishop d3 in it. I don't remember the line very well, but I had the bishop d3 in it. So I did go for this line because I remember that it is a move in the position. And how many of you can see what my opponent would play here? Let me just make this big so that you can see the moves. Like, what do you think? What do you think white should play here? What do you guys think white? No, what do you think white should play? What do you think white played here? What do you think white played here? Beto, how are you doing? What do you guys think white played here? Where's your rook end games? The rook end games did not win. Go and check the polls. Game analysis won by 47%. After d takes c5, then g6 going for the reverse Catalan is good. Yes. White should play the best move. Of course, yeah, Berto. Thank you for the shocking information. I had no idea that's what white should play. But it's not what you think white. It's not what white should play. It's what do you think white played here? What do you think white played here? No one can guess? Oh, come on, guys. Come on, guys. What do you think white played here? Okay, no one can guess. That's it, white, black. Okay, thank you. It's black to move. Sorry. What do you think black can do here? What do you think black can do here? Why did I say white? I meant black. What do you think black can do here? What is black's move? Sorry, what is black's move? I drew a blind spot there. What is black's move? Oh boy. A very interesting one. Yeah, I'm fully aware of that, Berto. Don't worry, one day I'll get better Wi-Fi. Right now, it's about like 10 seconds delayed. Okay, what I'm watching is not showing it, but it's quite delayed. Queen a5 is good. Okay, queen a5 is good. e5, bishop h6, e4 looks good. Nice. Yeah, so you guys are on track. You guys are on track. So he did play e5, and this is when I shocked him and took over the game. Now I don't remember what I played. It's like 30. Is it that bad? 30 seconds. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. It's just like 15 seconds. So He played this move and I was like, oh damn. Now this was not part of my plan at all. The point is I was trying to play from what I had prepared. But after this move and him doing this was not part of my preparation. All I saw was I can castle queenside, but maybe I don't want to castle queenside. And all I remember is that bishop d3 makes sense. It takes 25 seconds now. So he did he played e6, sorry. I played bishop to d3 and then he played e5. And look, I kid you not, this is the fastest my brain has ever worked. This is the fastest my brain had ever worked because bishop g5 is such a nice move. You see it. 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 Max Silva is probably above 2,000. You see it. Now, this wasn't part of my plans, but I didn't want my opponent to think I didn't know what I was doing. And look, the calculation I saw the moment he played e5, because I spent like 20 seconds on this move because I wanted him to think it was prep. So I saw the whole line and I was like, bishop g5. He went e4. I went bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes. And this position is very strong. Now, I know if you look at the engine here, you'll be like 0.3. Don't forget I sacrificed the piece. So 0.3 should basically means that white is actually okay here. Because I'm down a piece. And I was taking over the game. Like, bro. So that was the power of the bishop d3. I just want to show you about the bishop d3. Like, I've seen it, but I hadn't planned it well. Why knight takes? Why knight takes here? One, you are winning a pawn back. Two, you are threatening this with this. Again, I don't remember everything. I'm trying to remember it as I'm mentioning in it. But one is that you want to take the pawn back with check, tempo, forcing your opponent to go for this trade, and now you prevent your opponent from castling into safety, right? You kind of make it hard for him to castle into safety. So that's the point. If you delay this move, your opponent maybe can find a way to bounce back or something. I'm not so clear on that. I don't remember my analysis. I do have the video on the YouTube where I've done the analysis of this. It's called the President's Cup. So you can get it there. Not that knight takes. Wait, why? What other knight takes? Why knight takes here? Because that's the only other knight takes that I can see. Wait, let me see. Yeah, he takes here. E5 here. Oh, I say, why did I take his knight? If you're asking why I took his knight, that just solves my problems because knight's a fair trade, right? It's a fair trade then. That's why I take his knight. So that if he's auto playing and he's not thinking, it gives him a chance to make a mistake, right? Queen takes does the same thing. I'm safe. Mind you, I'm going down a piece. That's the whole thing that's happening here. I'm going down a piece if this is allowed. So you are giving your opponent the chance to go wrong. So the best thing for him to go is to take, and then you sacrifice over here. Now, the reason you don't start with the knight takes is that you don't really have that much follow-up. Like, you don't really have many threats in the position, right? The knight here is guarded, the pawn here is guarded. Like, your opponent is okay here, right? Knight takes e4 and not queen takes check. Yeah. So in this position, basically you want a follow-up, and that's what I calculated. Look, I'm saying everything up to this point, it just flashed in my head after e5. Mind you, the moment he played e5, I thought I was lost. when I played this position, I didn't think that he could play e5. So when he pushed e5, it just hit me. I was like, whoa, I've made a mistake. Then I looked at the position again. I was like, wait a second. There's something here. And I played all this. Like all these moves that you are seeing. It's a classical chess game that we're playing. And I played all these moves without thinking. Like, he makes his move, I make my move. He makes his move, I make my move. So at the end of the game, he asked me that, did I prep against him? I was like, nah, I saw it on the fly. And that's exactly what I wanted him to think. Because if I have that emotional advantage against him, like, he could blunder, he could make mistakes, you know. But if I make him think that I've messed up, he's going to be like, he's messed up, you know. So I did get a very good position. I started blundering here. This is where I started blundering. And I was very worried about what was the move? Why did I come here in particular? Yeah, I was very worried about the queen coming into this square. The move I actually wanted to play was I don't remember it now. It wasn't castles. Was it castle? Yeah, I think maybe it was just castles. Yeah, it was just castles. And I was worried that if my opponent comes in here, I would have to trade off queens. And that's actually the best move. Okay. Allow the trade of queens. And now you go rook d5. Your opponent does have this though. Okay, let's not get caught up in the past. But yeah, that was basically yeah, I was just drawing a why I know about this bishop d3. That was the longest why I know about bishop d3 you ever see. Oh, sorry, where is it? Yeah, okay, that was it. The bishop d3 is an interesting move, but it's not here. We could have gotten the exact same position if you noticed, right? But here there's a difference, right? This is not existing. There's no knight over here as well, so it's not the exact same position. I don't know if I can ever get that position again. The way it happened, I don't know if I can ever get it again. Oh, actually I could have got that position again. Wait, is it here? No, it's not the same. No, it's not the same. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. I would have needed a bishop here. Nah, it's not the same, unfortunately. I have to study if there's a way I can try and force that line. Because, like, you put your opponent in the mindset that, oh, my opponent is just blundering. There's an emotional side to chess, right? So sometimes when you make these moves, your opponent is going to be thinking that, oh, you're just messing up, making mistakes, right? Yeah. So I think that was the mistake here. The mistake here was going for takes, especially with the structure that I have here. There was no need to jump knight b5 here. I don't think so. Yeah, knight b5 here does not make any sense, especially after the bishop has been developed, right? So that's why I was like, when I played this move, I got shocked. Like, when he played this, I was like, what's going on here, right? Yeah, so that's that. So that's this game. Again, if any of you have a game you want to send, feel free to do. I'm analyzing both viewer games and my games. And all these games, I played them yesterday. So if you were on stream yesterday, you would have seen these games. Okay, another game I lost. Yeah. So exactly what I was talking about. The problem, I think, with playing this move here is that your opponent has knight to f3 played, right? If knight to f3 has not been played and your opponent comes in here, then this move I think is acceptable, right? But when the knight has come in, it may not be the best move, which is what I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. Yeah, so here I don't think c5 is a move. Yeah, you may have to develop a few more pieces before you try and go for c5. Which is why I'm thinking that the engine is actually recommending the move e6 here, because you want to go c5 possibly. Let's say this. Do you want to go c5 here? No, because the knight jumps in here. So if he doesn't play the knight, do you want to go c5 here? You still don't want to go c5 here. Yeah, so once your opponent develops this move, you don't want to go c5, right? So he's playing like the traditional landing. He's playing like the traditional landing, right? So the traditional landing avoids the issue with c5, but it produces a new issue of bishop here, bishop to g4. Again, it doesn't mean you are losing, but it's uncomfortable. It makes the game a little bit annoying to play. So that's why people adopted the accelerated. So with the accelerated, this is the problem you have to face. With the normal landing system moves, this is the one you have to face, right? So I should have taken note of that. So I played it as though my opponent has not played knight, and that's the problem of like memorizing the openings and not adjusting based on what is played, right? There's a different factor, right? When you learned the opening, it was d4, d5, bishop f4, c5, right? That is how you memorized it. So, or that's how you learned it. So when you notice a difference in move order, you should notice that there are other pieces that exist on the board, and you have to now shift your ideology, right? And that was my mistake here. So slightly worse position in the opening doesn't really matter so much, but you often want to like avoid such errors, because against top players, they are going to punish these things very quickly. Takes here, knight jumps in, and I was kind of happy here because I felt, okay, regardless of how bad I started, I've still gotten like my queenside attacking position. Only to quickly realize that, yeah, it's going to take me a while to formulate something. I'm doing quite well. Yeah, and this move is a very crucial move. Anytime I play against someone who doesn't play this centralizing move, especially when I'm attacking one side of the board, they end up losing, right? That's the key. Whenever your opponent attacks on one side of the board, you want to break in the center. That's always what you want to do. So he plays this move, and I think this is also a mistake. It makes perfect sense why I made this move, but the point is, the reason why I made this, the point is, if my opponent decides to take, now I have something against the queen, right? So this move was to kind of prevent him from wanting to take immediately, at least. But then I allowed this, and it's like, it's beginning to not look good, right? Because I think his attack can develop faster than mine. Bishop comes in. I refuse to trade off bishops. Angel likes my moves so far. A5, H5, E4. Knight jumps back. Takes was actually not good here. Yeah. I should have played F5 here. I considered it in this position, but I was like, does it really work? Yeah, it's just fine. F5 is literally just fine. I have no idea why I didn't look at F5. But let's say the queen goes... There's no checkmate here. My queen blocks that square. I don't know. I don't know. I still felt okay in this position. So H6 is what lost me the game. I should have instead gone this way. Why was H6 bad? Oh, I gave him a target. I could have avoided that. Okay. Let me end off here. I'm gonna get a little bit more rest. Who knows? Maybe I may shock you guys and do another stream this evening. But yeah. Yeah. So again, I'm not so convinced about it yet. There are so many things I'll be doing this week, but on When is the 10th? Sorry, give me a second. Is the 10th on Friday or on Saturday? Oh, it's on Saturday. Then there's no problem. I thought the 10th was on Friday. If the 10th was on Friday, I would have had to do the streamer versus viewers on Thursdays. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm sorry I'm cutting the stream very short. But thank you guys for being around. I will see you on Friday when I play viewers. But I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the stream. At least, I hope next time you send in your games. I'd be interested in seeing what you guys play. Have a great rest of your day. Peace. I really have to get a